Welcome to the Brave Home Service Pro podcast, where we're all about helping blue-collar business owners like you to unlock your inner business beast. I'm your host, Lee Miller, a seasoned home service and construction industry veteran turned business coach. In this podcast, I'll teach you how to break free from your own limitations, gain the knowledge, tools, and mindset to succeed, and guide you as you trailblaze your way to the top of your industry. My system is simple: set bold goals and take brave action to achieve them. Together, we'll build your business into its full potential. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and join our Facebook group for more tips and tricks to boost your business using the link in the show notes. Now let's dive into the Brave Home Service Pro podcast. Your journey to business greatness begins right here. Hey contractors, welcome back to Work Truck Wisdom. The segment is designed to turn your work truck into a mini university on wheels as you travel between estimates to the job site, to the hardware store, wherever you need to go. You can learn on the road in real time. So today we're going to be looking at a step-by-step framework to streamline your hiring processes. And we're going to share a couple of strategies to attract some top talent and introduce you to the Gapology framework, which is a powerful tool that I use as a coach with my clients to help my clients to hire and retain the best employees that are available. We want to start this episode with a story, and this one is funny, but it's also really serious. But I posted up on Reddit a while back asking contractors for their recruitment horror stories, and I had one submitted which I wanted to share with you guys today. And it kind of highlights the importance of good hiring but also thorough hiring, so we want to make sure that we do that. Let's take a listen to this. So this contractor hired a temporary worker for a warehouse role at his contracting business. Everything seemed fine until the employer noticed the inconsistencies in the worker's performance were very, very hit and miss, right? Like this guy, one day he was sharp, other days he was completely off. Things just weren't consistent with this employee. And after some investigation and some Facebook sleuthing, it turns out that this temporary worker was one of 3 identical triplets who have been sharing the job and sending in whichever brother felt like working that day. And the true story highlights the chaos that ensues from inadequate hiring processes, right? Like this is, with a little bit of Facebook sleuthing, a little bit of open source intelligence gathering, we maybe could have avoided this if we seen that there was 3 brothers in this group. So we want to prevent those scenarios, and here's how we're going to do that. And we're going to dive into some comprehensive frameworks and strategies for effective hiring that you can implement in your business. Now, before I move on, I do need to define that there's 2 different kinds of hiring process. And I was a recruiter for some amount of time in my career. I've hired probably somewhere between 1,500 and maybe 1,800 people in my life. And you start to see it all when you do it in that volume. But if you're only hiring once a year or twice a year, only when you're ramping up and getting busy, you're not going to see the data and the statistics run side by side if you're only doing it ad hoc. So let's look at the 2 different ways. So one is project-based recruitment, which is when you need somebody and then you post a job ad and then you hire someone. Right? The other way is proactive recruitment. Proactive recruitment is where you run year-round job ads to make sure that anybody who takes a peek online because they're getting sick of their current job and then they apply for a job that comes up. So year-round recruitment, so it's a habit, it's a system versus project-based. So here's how we make sure that we don't make a bad hire. Well, one is set yourself up for proactive recruitment, right? Have a system, have your job ads being posted up every 2 weeks year round. That way you're having candidates coming in consistently. You can quickly scan over. If you like what you hear, you can give them a call and bring them in for an interview. Now, if it is somebody who is waiting, or is maybe working for another company right now, then they might be willing to wait a month or 2 months at their current position in order to jump over to you when you're ready for them. So don't think, hey, I'm not going to post a bunch of job ads because I don't want to waste anybody's time. This is for you and your business. Post the job ads. If you do see someone that you really, really like, then you can always tell them in the interview, hey, listen, I can bring you on in 30 days. I can bring you on in 60 days. I can bring you on in 90 days. and just ask them, hey, can you hold on at your current employer right now? And I'm sure they would be fine to do so if it is the right role for them. So yeah, get that set up, get that habit set up. And if you need help with that, feel free to reach out. I would love to show you some tools and tricks and even give you access to our recruitment folder, which has all the job ads and templates and all that good stuff in there for you to make this an easy process for you. Okay, so let's talk about how we can prevent bad hires. One is we can define the role, right? We need to really clearly define the role, and we need to understand who we actually need. Are we hiring out of desperation? Because that often leads to mismatched expectations and poor performance. So clearly define the role by asking yourself questions such as, what specific problems will this hire address, right? Are they filling a role that will just be on site? Is it an admin role? Is it a hybrid role? We need to be very, very specific with which problems that this person will take care of. Second is define the scope of the role. Like, how long will it last? Is it a full-time role? Is it a part-time role? Is it a seasonal position? And we need to be explicitly clear with the candidates. This is full-time, this is part-time, this is seasonal, with a start date and an end date if it is a seasonal position. Next, you're going to ask yourself, hey, do I even need an employee? Could I get away with just using a subcontractor, which has lower risk? It does come with a different set of problems. What I would recommend that you do is jump back and listen to our episode that we recorded all about hiring and retaining good subcontractors, and listen to some of the horror stories that I tell in that episode as well. So ask yourself, do I actually need an employee or do I need a subcontractor? And by pinpointing your exact needs, you're going to set the foundation for a successful hire. Okay, step number 2, develop a robust hiring process. We just talked about this, but establishing a structured hiring process before urgency strikes. And this includes crafting detailed job descriptions that not only list responsibilities, but also convey your company's culture and values. So you want to have a folder on your hard drive that has all your job ads, all of your core values, all of your responsibilities listed out that you can pull from. We don't want to be writing a job ad every time we need to hire someone. We need to be able to just pull these out, stick them up online, and we're good to go. And even better if you can get to a point where you have somebody else take over. For example, if you have an operations manager or a foreman, hiring and filling that team should be a role that's on their radar and they should be taken care of. And they can only do that if they have the right tools and guidance from you. So have that folder handy, and you can email your foreman and say, hey, I'm running some numbers. I'm looking at the projections for production here for the next month. We're going to need another employee. Can you post XX job ad from the folder? And they should know how to do that. It's not difficult to post a job ad up. You could have your admin do it, a foreman, an operations manager, something like that. Or if it's a sales manager, they should be recruiting for the sales team. Again, we want to make ourselves the dumbest, the slowest, and the least important people in the business. So get that off your plate, delegate it, and then come in for the final interview. Set the process up so that they're doing the initial qualification call, they're scanning the resumes, they're speaking to that person, and then you sit on in the final interview and ask the questions that you need to ask. Again, this is just time management on your part. You're not going to be able to be the main recruiter, the main sales guy, the main production guy forever. So we do need to set up systems where that part is at least taken care of. Okay, when reviewing applications, implement pre-screening questions, right? So qualification call to swiftly identify red flags and ensure candidates meet your baseline criteria. A well-defined process saves time and helps in attracting candidates who align with your company's vision, and that's really important. And here's the way that I like to teach this as a business coach to my contractors. The resume review, right? The system where we're looking at the resume and deciding, hey, are we even going to continue the conversation with this person? That's step number 1. Step number 2 is the qualification call. By the end of the qualification call, we should have asked all the questions to at least basically vet that the person has the experience that we're looking for from a skill standpoint. When I look at the final interview to me is really just set up as a way for me to confirm core values, because that's the foundation of a solid employee, is that their core values match yours or match your business's. So when we actually get to the interview, we should already know most of this candidate's experience. In the final interview, we should be asking questions to get to the root of their core values. And I like to ask the candidate to tell me a story. I'll say things like questions like, hey, tell me about a time where the team was really falling behind and you stepped up. And I'll just close my mouth and I'll listen. Tell me about a time when you really went the extra mile for a customer. What happened? How did you go the extra mile? Tell me about a time where you had to step back and listen to somebody else, right? Like we want to talk about teamwork. Can this person work as part of a team? Again, I'm asking all of these questions. They're very, very open. I'm saying, tell me about a time when. And what I'm listening for after I ask that question is, which core value did you display in that moment? The reason why I want to do that is because core values are the backbone of any business. And here's how I explain it to clients when they sign up for a coaching program and they do their 4-hour strategy call with me. I like to explain core values like the anchor that the sailboat drops when it pulls up to port, right? A sailboat will come up, it'll drop its anchor, they'll take their dinghy and they'll go into, they'll go into the mainland with that. They'll leave their sailboat out and, relatively close, but out in the ocean. And what happens is that anchor stays fixed, but the chain to the boat moves and swings, right? Like the water level's coming up and down, the tide is coming in and out, and that boat and the wind is swinging around that anchor, but it never moves away from a certain distance. That's the exact way that I like to explain core values. It doesn't mean that your environment doesn't change and your behavior doesn't change, but you don't go any further than this line. So you want to get a sense of all employees' core values and make sure that they match exactly the core values in your business. All right, step number 3. Let's explore 3 proven strategies to find the right candidates. So we'll go traditional, we'll go new school, and then we'll talk about leveraging existing networks and employees. So first off, here's traditional. You've got your job boards, things like Indeed and other online recruitment services like Monster Jobs, even Craigslist, stuff like that. The pros to recruiting that way is that you get access to a vast pool of applicants that are actively seeking jobs, right? People who need work now. The cons of that is that you're going to get many, many applications that you're going to have to thoroughly screen. So remember, if you're posting on Indeed, these people need work, right? They're looking for jobs. You're going to get applicants. Here's a quick tip though. You can use specific keywords and clear requirements to filter suitable candidates out. So make your job ad and then your tags very, very specific to the work that you're doing. If you need a good recruitment strategy when it comes to posting job ads, I use the rule of 3, which is to post 3 different job ads with different titles with the same body of text. So if I'm a cabinet maker and I'm looking for more cabinet makers, I'm going to be posting a job ad for 3 roles that have similar transferable skills. That's going to be things like finishing carpenters, maybe even furniture makers, and then 1 job ad up for a cabinet maker. That way I'm appealing to 3 different pools of people who would have the skills that I need. All right, next one, social media, and this is the new school version. But a lot of recruiters are actually moving on to Facebook and Instagram to place ads up for recruitment. And here's the pros and cons to that. So the pros are that there's the ability to target specific demographics, so you can actually go deeper into the demographic that you're looking for, and then reach passive candidates as well. So people who are underemployed see your ad and then they go, oh, well, maybe I'll take a look at that. And that's a really good tactic for getting people who are already working somewhere else and, maybe they're not happy and they're looking to make a switch. So social media. Cons: requires marketing knowledge and may involve advertising costs. So yes, anytime we post an ad on Facebook or Instagram, there is a cost that comes with that, but you can set a budget. And if you need help to define down your demographic that you're looking for, right, the market and knowledge piece, if you're looking for some help with that, then feel free to hit me up. Top tip: create engaging ads showcasing your company's culture to attract like-minded professionals. It's not just about the work that you do, but also the work environment that you're going to be putting these people in. All right, number 3, leveraging local networks and employee referrals, right? There's a saying that goes, good people know good people. So if you already have great employees and you love their work ethic, you love their skill set, you love working with these people, they're always on time, they're always reliable, go and ask them who they know. And the funny thing is if they're a good person, they probably don't hang around with bad people. So ask them who they know. And even if they give you a name for someone who might not have the skill set that you're looking for, but they have the good core values and they have a good attitude, well, our onboarding and our training system that we create in our businesses should be able to rapidly skill that person up. And if they've got a willingness to learn, then that's going to make things 10 times easier. And this was a tactic that I actually used in my painting business, where I would almost rather create my own employees who had great attitudes through training than hire someone who already had existing skill and could potentially be coming with bad habits. So always go for attitude over skill. Leverage your existing employees. If you've got good ones, get more of them through them if you can. And you can even offer some sort of sign-in bonus for the existing employee for the referral as well. The pros of this is it often leads to high quality candidates familiar with your local market. So you ideally want to be doing all three of these different tactics, not just one, but do look internally first and just say, hey, does anybody know a great employee? And here's a tip. You can offer that referral bonus. I would maybe even do it like sign-in bonus at $200, and then in 3 months I'll give you another $250. That's going to get people excited about sharing their referrals with your company. All right, step number 4. Establish a comprehensive onboarding process. This is going to be a bit of a longer topic for us, guys. Onboarding and training are two different things. Same with orientation. But if you want to look at the Gapology framework, we have a link posted up in our Facebook group. I'll also include a link to that Facebook group in the episode notes. So make sure you jump in there and sign up, and you will find that video link in the comments there. So comprehensive onboarding process, let's do a quick one. So once you've selected the right candidate, a thorough onboarding process is absolutely essential. The initial 30 days are critical for setting expectations and integrating new hires into your company culture. Provide necessary training, assign mentors, and schedule regular check-ins to address any concerns early on. So it's not just about giving them the job. There is tasks that are needed from you or from your recruiter or from your ops manager or whoever's going to be running this employee for at least 30 days after they bring this new person on board. So create a positive onboarding experience. This will lead to employee retention and sets the stage for long-term success. Okay, so to wrap up, effective hiring involves clearly defining the role, establishing a structured hiring process, utilizing diverse recruitment strategies, right? A few of them, not just one, and then implementing a comprehensive onboarding program. If you follow the framework, you're going to position your company to attract and retain top talent, guys, ultimately driving your business forward. The funny thing is, you're going to see a huge similarity between recruitment and marketing. It's very, 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 very similar. So if it works in marketing, 9 times out of 10, it works in recruitment as well. For those who are interested in diving a little bit deeper into effective hiring and just general leadership practices, I highly recommend exploring the Gapology framework that I talked about in this episode. The strategic tool that I use, it really helps me identify and close performance gaps within teams, and that's even with other businesses. I use it as a tool for even bringing new clients into Brave Academy. But it leads to enhanced effectiveness and organizational success, right? Like I'll coach someone, but I can only coach them if they're willing to learn and they're willing to put the work in. So I need to use these tools like the Gapology framework to vet the clients that I'm bringing on. For you guys, you need to be doing the same thing, right? And the Gapology framework makes it idiot proof. It is honestly so easy to follow. It's 9 questions that you can ask to make sure that you're pulling the trigger on the right person. So click the link in the episode description to access the Gapology framework webinar that we did. And until the next one, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe and share it with your network, or just give me some feedback. Say, hey, Lee, it was good. Hey, Lee, it was terrible. Whatever. I want to hear from you guys. Do you like the podcast? Do you not like the podcast? Let's keep building and leading amazing teams as we head into the busy season, into the summer, into the spring. It's going to get busy. We need people. They say if you want to go far, go with others. If you want to go fast, go alone. We want to go far, guys. We want to build these into big powerhouse home service and construction businesses. You can do that if you put the right systems in place. And I know that because I've done it myself. Again, if you need help, you know where I am. Feel free to find me on the website, www.wethebrave.ca. So thanks for tuning in to Work Truck Wisdom, guys. I will see you on the next one. Go crush it.